guys, this is the review of the Rigid Industries D2 Hyperspot and the SAE fog light kit. I'm going to show you how I mounted them in my Ranch Hand Summit Series front bumper and how they look at night. So, mounted them out back here. I had to do a little adapting to get it to fit, but it was fairly easy. Just needed some bolts and nuts to move it back a little bit because the factory fog is a little bit narrower than these D2s, so I had to space this piece right here back. I just used 3 nuts to space it back, so I had to also had to get some longer bolts as well. That wasn't very hard at all to mount all that together. The hardest part was wiring it through the firewall. So over here in the corner down there is where the boot is for all the factory wires. They come out here to the engine bay from the cab, and we would run the rigid wire right here, I think. That's it. From the cab. Now is a pain in the butt. It's because you had to unwrap it, and that boot is a lot longer than you think it is. It's about 8 inches in depth or more. So that was a pain in the butt running it through there. Instead of connecting the battery terminals over there to the battery, we just connected them into this control panel right here. Let me see if I get this open. So right here is where we mounted them. That's a positive terminal right there, and for the negative we just put it down there to that bolt that goes into the body. So that's how we got the electrics put in. Box back on. Okay, so I got that back on. That covers the pain in the butt to move, but after we got those wires running, we put our fuse the relay right here to where your engine and other electronics ground. So we found it just put it there, go alongside the other stuff. And we ran the wires for the lights down here behind the wiper fluid down there to the bottom. So it comes out right here. So I just ran it through here, just right here underneath the radiator, to that light over there, and this in here. Keep in mind, all this wiring I just told you about is just for the Hyperspots. See, we got one hook up here for the Hyperspots and the same on the other side, but for the fog lights we just use the factory connectors. So I got an adapter from, I think it's like JDM Toy or something. It lets you use your factory harness without splicing any wires, so I still have my rigid connector all nice in the factory without splicing any wires. So I can also use my factory switch. So this one right here is the fog, and this one's the Hyperspot. I like them a lot. I put in my own switch right here on the dash. That was the only place I could find to put it, because everywhere else it wouldn't sit flat and it'd be in the way. So I'll stop this video and we'll take another video when it gets dark. So it got dark, so now I'm going to finish my video. So right now I'm running just headlights. So I'll turn on the Hyperspots. So they're a 5-degree beam, very narrow, to go way down the road if aimed correctly. I really like them. I mean, they go way out there. I mean, it lights up the signs probably a half mile down the road. Right now I'm running the Hyperspots and the regular headlights. So if you're on high beams, that's a pretty good driving light combo, because the high beams will give you a lot of the width and the Hyperspots will give you really good distance. So that's what the Hyperspots look like. Of course you can't run the fog lights during when you have the high beams on, so I'll turn the high beams off, Hyperspots off, and this is what it looks like with the fogs on. So they're really wide. It's a 45-degree angle beam. I can easily see over my left mirror. There's still some light, and I can see way over on the right as well. These are actually pretty much like a low beam headlight, because they shoot out about the same distance, but they're even wider too. So I really like them. Like I said, I hooked them up to the factory harness, so it's hooked onto the factory button, so I didn't have to put in a new one. So that's what those look like. So right now I'm running low beams, the fog lights, and if you turn on the Hyperspots as well, that gives you a pretty good flow of light there. You get all of it. And what I like about it is the yellow of the headlights. When you have the fogs on, it kind of blends it in, because the fogs are pure white, so it makes it kind of like, I don't know, maybe a pearl white combined. So that gives it a nice driving light. So, and of course you can't run the fogs. You turn on the high beams and the fogs turn off, but as soon as you turn back down, this is probably the best combo I've seen. I looked at other light bar systems and stuff, but I found this where you can just mount 2 dualies in each fog light hole, and I said that's the best of both worlds, because you don't have to remount anything, but they're hidden. Well, at least for me they are, because they're behind the ranch hand bumper. But I mean, it's real easy to do, real satisfying, doesn't ruin the looks of your truck if you don't like the way light bar looks. I do, but those are expensive. So alright, so that was the night video. Okay, y'all, take care.